You have almost certainly heard the trivia fact. The Great Wall of China is the only human-made object visible from space. It is a total fabrication. This enduring myth is incredibly powerful. Unfortunately, it has completely overshadowed the eerie truth of what marks of humanity we can actually see from the vacuum of space. The origin of this particular lie traces back to a flamboyant 1930s travel writer named Richard Halliburton. In his 1938 publication, The Second Book of Marvels, Halliburton explicitly wrote that astronomers say the Great Wall is the only human-made thing visible from the moon. The problem with citing these supposed astronomers is that Halliburton published this claim 23 years before a human being actually reached space. People propagated the myth anyway. We clearly prefer to believe that our greatest cultural monuments project their majesty out into the universe, even if the laws of orbital optics make that impossible. This maps the true boundary of space. Traveling 62 miles straight up from sea level, you hit the Kármán line. To get a sense of scale, the International Space Station operates far above that boundary, orbiting at an average altitude of 250 miles. At these extreme distances, historical significance means nothing. For human eyes to spot something, it requires a massive geographic footprint and extreme color contrast. Human imagination stops exactly at the Kármán line. From there on out, the rigid mechanics of light and distance take over. If you look down from orbit, you can easily see the Bingham Canyon Mine in Utah. It registers to the naked eye simply because it is the deepest open-pit excavation in the world. You can also spot the Three Gorges Dam in China. Its sheer mass of concrete violently disrupts the natural flow of the Yangtze River, creating a high-contrast visual break. Dubai's Palm Jumeirah archipelago presents another distinct shape. The sharp, unnatural geometric lines of sand pushing into the turquoise water are clearly visible from the Kármán line and can be picked out from the ISS with a standard camera lens. Even structures as colossal as the Great Pyramids of Giza struggle against these rules. Under perfect lighting and weather conditions, they only manage to appear as two barely perceptible dots. The physical rules of space heavily favor sheer, brute force scale. The common denominator for visibility is stark, violent geographical disruption. So why does the Great Wall of China, a structure that stretches for over 13,000 miles, completely fail this visibility test? This animated comparison shows exactly why length doesn't matter from orbit. A line can be incredibly long, but if it remains hair-thin, it will vanish entirely as the camera pulls back, while a shorter, wider block stays visible. The wall is simply too narrow. It suffers from a fatal camouflage flaw. Because builders used local stone, the wall perfectly matches the natural contours and colors of the mountain ridges. European Space Agency astronaut Thomas Pesquet spent time trying to photograph the wall from the ISS. He had to rely on geographical maps to guess its location, shooting blind through the fog with a massive telephoto lens to capture it. Former NASA astronaut Leroy Chiao experienced the exact same thing. He managed to capture the first ever photograph of the wall from space, but later admitted that when he clicked the shutter, he couldn't actually see the structure with his naked eye. What we call seeing the Great Wall from space is really just an exercise in blind instrument navigation. The romantic notion of it serving as a cosmic landmark collapses under the weight of basic optical physics. The optics of orbit operate with total indifference to our architecture and our history. The vacuum of space records the jagged industrial scars we've carved into the terrain, ignoring the ancient monuments we imagine to be cosmic landmarks. These visible marks reveal a specific reality about our modern era. We are no longer simply building structures on the Earth. We are actively reshaping planetary geology at a scale that competes with nature. Orbit provides a humbling reality check. Our massive, modern terrestrial interventions have become humanity's primary signature on the planet's surface.